The session 3 titled Circularity Applications in AEC, Architecture, Engineering and Construction Industry. My name is Yazıcı. I'm faculty member at Istanbul University Department of Architecture and Architecture Design Community Graduate Program. I would like to welcome you all on behalf of the organizing committee as well, of which I'm also a part of. Today we have 5 valuable speakers. I would like to thank them for their great contribution to the symposium. We have 15 minutes each, so I will warn you if we are running out of time. Our first presenter is Altan Çakır. He's a professor at Istanbul Technical University, Department of Physics. The title of his speech is Management of Information Systems in Digital Age. Please join me welcoming Professor Çakır.
Hi everyone. I think I'm gonna give a kind of talk that is different than what we generally use all the time in Europe. So just give me a brief summary about me. I'm a physics and mathematics oriented faculty, so we do a lot of research based on data management. And then in the meantime, of course, not here in academic level, so working with lots of companies in the level of many domains. So today we will discuss about what are our experiences in the context of the information systems. But today, level of language, we can change this structure to the big data or AI or whatever you call it. But in the meantime, there is some common sense and there are also some exclusive subjects that we may discuss. That's the remind us to call it like digital technologies and applications together with the digital twin and AI. So because they are all that we need to investigate and understand and together in one single subject. Of course, we also have an institute. We have an institute AI research center. I'm also an executive person in this research center of our research center. So I think there are very common words that you all heard about in our daily life, but time to time just some kind of like a subject, just some subject is very important to understand. So basically, one thing about this important technological development that just really like exponentially grow, and the market developments, which I call as a market, but you can say that in your domain, just changes continuously about like, this digitalization steps. Okay. So if you look at the right-hand side, so you may call this, so you need data. So what type of data and then how you really collect the data is some subject of discussion. But you can say, okay, what we call this in collection of the data and IoT technologies together with some kind of, imagine your cell mobiles. So there are some systems that need to be collected by some sort of additional layers or that you can call as a cloud. Okay, so just a cloud is a big discussion about this things for offline for a while. Of course, everybody wants to do this artificial intelligence. So what type of artificial intelligence and what is artificial intelligence is a big discussion, but we want to use it to optimize our outcomes about our domains. And then the last things in augmented reality and virtual reality, I mean, you can imagine some sense in your somehow on your market demands, but we may always call like what is the visualization steps. I can strongly suggest you, especially in this faculty, this is a critical discussion because whatever you do with your data, so you need to see in the context of technological visualization steps. If you look at the many computer engineering departments, you can see almost 30 to 40% of the academic thesis in the going direction of this visualization together with the AI. So basically, these embedded sensors and mobile solar solutions in cloud computing and this multiverse of machine learning or advanced analytics, so you can really investigate in this part. Of course, the next subject, apart from the technologies, so you need to discuss about how I'm going to use these technologies in the context of my operations. So what's your operations? You may call it like a built environment, you can call it, I don't know, like e-commerce, the logistics, whatever it is. So from our, let's say, workshop discussion and something, so we can call this like what is smart buildings. And then how can I really get this all the information and then what I'm going to do with this all data. So I want to do this AI. The critical step, I just generally call as a big data technologies, but we may also call it like a data management or data governance, but there are always different definitions, they're not the same things, but basically general expectation. You know, one, I just put it in the second leg last, put this data, I'll just, you know, look at a couple of read reports I'm going to show you in a minute. But in the meantime, it's like this power management, heating and ventilation, and also especially I also noticed that a lot of studies going on in the smart cities, how these buildings just can be designed by ventilation simulations with new text. I may call this an NVIDIA. I was asking people to search a little over and thank you for the invitation for this meeting. And then, for example, there is a really nice technology in NVIDIA, that is what they call Omniverse. So they are really simulating the big cities in the context of this air ventilation or this air conditions. Anyway, so there are lots of subjects, but what you need to understand about this big data or this data management in this context, I have lots of types of data. Lots of types of data. For example, I'm speaking, I'm visualizing something, I can feel this, the heating system of inside, in around 23 degrees inside. So how can I really investigate them all in one thought? So you need a kind of like a data management system. This is not something like that we can investigate by the exact line. And then the third thing is, of course, you need to, whenever you connect the machines and everything, so you need to minimize the downtime. Just imagine you have one component, this one, for example, if this is broken. So we will start at like 10 minutes or 5 minutes, and then we just try to restart it. If you look from the operations, so this is very critical fact in all companies and in all operations. So you don't have any tolerance in the downtime. So which means that you have a system, you can call time to time not a centralized, but we can also call it decentralized. So whenever you just plug off, like, you know, when the electric is off, the system should continue to work. So we are referring to the cloud-based access. And then the final part, of course, we will understand everything in the simulation environment that what's going to be happening in the context of what I want to do. Of course, once we have a look from, you know, just basically, whenever we look at the reports, it's in the context of what's the ongoing on studies on the construction projects. So basically, the main discussion is the continuously growing data volume and variety is in every domain. So when we look from the big projects to very small projects, so basically everybody just giving the same message to you that the continuous volume increase on the collective of data. The next question is, what are you going to do with this data? This is the discussion of another management is another discussion. But once you look from that discussion, basically, generally looks like, except for the 17%, just most of the time, like 70 to 80% of the data just increasing every single minute or month, can imagine. So which means that we need to do something with this increasing data level operations. Of course, when you're talking about the data, what we generally, most of the time discussed by the company. So what is the data maturity of your system that you can really give some kind of order? I mean, this is already, they give you the message from the, I think the left-hand side and the half, just according to me, in Zoom. So when you look at the black lines, you can see this, the most of the time the data from this recent survey just says that 11 to 25% of the data is just sort of usable. So this is already very small amount of data. And then when you look at the rest of the 75%, we can really see what you're going to do with this kind of data maturity level. Why do we need understanding about this index? So at the end of the day, this is the level of index that we need. How many of data scientists or data engineers or like technical persons do you need to deal with this big operation? Okay, and then This is what generally called as a Geiger paradigm in the technical level. Geiger means like a garbage in, garbage out. So if you have really one of the best AI technologies in your hand, but if you're feeding up with some sparse data and some kind of unrelated data itself, what they told is a bad data. So basically, the system will not work. This is the result of the garbage, or vice versa. You can use this super collected data system, what we can call it the segmented data. But at the end of the day, if you are using these ordinary statistical methods like averaging something and so on and so forth, so you will get nothing. So you will get again it's the garbage. So that's the general picture of what we generally see. And I think most of the time, like 5 days ago, we spent most of the time like inaccurate and incorrect data or like missing data. But in the current level of, I think, the old companies and the technological developments, we are in the level of duplicate data. If you're in the sort of measuring level, duplicate means like you write a similar data again and again, but you just suppose that everything is correct. Let's give these complicated slides, but just give the general picture in some sense, which I do like. I mean, this is actually most of the time just discussed by this construction projects, what type of the systems that I really do care about is in a big world. You know, let's have a look. So from in the horizontal axis in the future directions. So basically, we are having the end user. So I'm just really looking at the building technology right now at the moment. So basically, you have this ordinary service in our operations that I'm going to go in the direction of the location-based services. So I want to use the services. Of course, I would like to get this knowledge from this domain, but the people just get this experience, and then I will need to extrapolate this information to the analysis, which is written there as analysis as a service, okay? But at the end of the day, the big picture, I want to merge them in one central operation that I can really service the system to the investor or owner, whatever, and then you need up. So you need to have some kind of services just taken in the game. Of course, there are lots of tenants in the system, which means you have different domain workers, and then finally you will have a different user experience. You know, whatever you look at in a subject, you see these slides that we can discuss for days. So, because there are lots of technology at stake in the backend. But let's collect this big how to say diagram in one fundamental 3 key steps. Okay, I'm in a good direction now. So these 3 key elements just basically split in 3 phases. One is the people. The people there is the data season. You know, nowadays or season of work is what they call time to time, because the people just notice that they cannot really do this solve these problems only with this data scientists or computer science and so on and so forth. They need to use this data expertise, which you guys, I can say, just re-upskill in the context of applications of what is necessary to do in the built environment. So that's the reason that we're just really using this kind of like people that's very critical. And then of course, another thing in the digital green context, so what will these people doing in the context of an operation in this building? And then another thing in this basic, how can I really optimize? And then of course my assets, what will can be designed in the context of buildings. So in the data management, again, if you only concentrate on the right side, the separation, what you see is just basically the fundamental facts, just there. This first 3 subject is the workflow optimization, which means how your data flow inside of the system. And then you together with your strategy, and then you want to get this analytics. Basically, it looks like higher indices, which means that you should concentrate on that level. But in the level of the down, so what's the 30% of the level, basically once you have this maturity on the operation of data management, you need to concern about what's happening in the data security and so on. So this is, one of the big features which I really like. I think this is one of the features from the Azure microscope, but I just write there the cloud technologies. How you really, when you look at this, the smart cities. So this is it tells you over the brief operations, but I want to concentrate on this the triangle in the left upper right and the right down. So basically what you put the data on the central of the operations. So basically you need to collect this whole data from that large operations. But of course you may call it, so how about building, how about the flow, how about the room? So this discussion can be really for the deep analysis of the different states. Of course, this again, I was showing the technology and an operational level. So when you look at this fancy and then the exciting subjects like cloud and AI and big data, of course, in the below there are lots of the operations can be handled together with your operations in the context of built environment. I just quickly talk this couple of minutes in the last 2 minutes of my finalizing my talk. From my perspective, this is the critical facts. The one you see in the left-hand side is a triangle. This is what you should have anyway in your system. This is what they call time to time like industry 4.0. So the manufacturing, e-commerce, whatever you call. That's really nice. EIM, MES, IMS, and all the systems. Okay. So basically, you have the machines or some data collection steps, and then you just collect this data with certain sensors, and then you go after the ERP. But today we need to deal with about this in the right hand side. So which means all data collection just goes to this data acquisition, and then together with we need this data engineering steps, which is all technology what and then you will have this master data catalog, which means that I have to find this corresponding data very easily and fast that I can do my research with the AI. So I just continue quickly. Just get some pressure on the settle in my backhand, but anyway. So this color decoding is just showing this big pictures about the technologies and operations. I also put the links in the downside, but I really like this is just generated by this built environment. How type of technology together with my operations I needed for the applications of my systems. We as a kind of data management guy, so basically we always discuss the architectures. This, you know, this was the discussion on yesterday. I was looking at some kind of built environment architectures, but I just get not only the architectures domain, because whatever I like is architectures with the data just only show you something about my data management architectures. But this is something good. So from left to right hand side is overall operations that what you need to do at the day in the built environment. And then the tools, infrastructure, data management core, and architecture patterns, basically what type of data do you need real time, and also just some kind of batch like every 10 minutes or every 5 minutes. This is going to be critical. I'm done. So basically, this is what you see in the right hand side, just 5 targets, the general common target for every domain that we need to do really together with your involved targets. And that is what I want to show you something from one of the buildings that we've done. Not directly buildings, but one of the fabrics in Turkey. So we have to integrate such a kind of all systems related. And it's coming by automation. But we don't want to do this automation anymore. We want to have such a kind of smart that we can really use this smart and then AI depending on foolish questions on the tablet or in our phones. But all the issues in the backend has to be done by this all the managed market. So we have 4 main subjects that what I want to state in my end of my talk is you need to have the data strategy that's really relevant to your domain. And then things like we mentioned, so we've got some people call industry 3040, whatever it is, but you need to transform your own structure from the new technologies. And then next question is the business we're going to ask for. Domain is what will be the value of your technological perspectives. And then your technology, I think this is kind of like a universe. So whatever you touch it, you will create something. But we were discussing in the lunchtime, so this is not an emerging technology anymore. I can really strongly state that, but these are the disruptive technologies, so we have to get ready about disruptive technologies in the following years. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mehmet. I'm an engineer. Working at the transformation country level, government level. We have worked on the transformation industry, company, digital transformation integration, and people base. I'll also focus on it today. We discuss on the data, especially I'm going to talk about for democratization of data and also circular economy. I'm going to make a presentation and present two mega scale projects: airport, manufacturing factory, TV, another one construction company, Kalyan Construction. Three projects I was a coordinator. First of all, overall construction industry, world most research, consuming, producing large amount of waste, 60% of global energy, the list digitalization, 38% of greenhouse gas emissions. It's the biggest problem of construction industry. How we can prevent this, inefficient industry and producing too much gas emission and consuming too much energy. Also, market size in the world, maybe 10% of the world, based on the construction industry, very big. For economic position. The right side, we also know the construction related stage, asset, usage and labor stage, to list digitalized industry. When we see the red, and the red bar is the construction industry. Actually, 30 years ago, we used the same method. We didn't change any construction management and design stage, or we already use it for the CAD, communication language is built for email and cell phone, and in the site management, we don't have any, project management strategy. Just, we learned our manager how we can manage. We don't have a standard, and also we don't have a coding system. So in another industry, you can see that productivity is increasing. Because they using the data, make analysis, they have a standard productivity strategy. So how we can do it? How we can integrate it? And also when we see for manufacturing and other industries, all industry digital transformation strategies say, I'm going to show today Istanbul Airport, PV solar panel factory, and one construction company, Kalyan Construction. Digital transformation, how we do it. And second, the biggest problem is energy consumption, performance space. Now we are in the architecture department. We can make a great design. But what's the performance of the building? Because the capacity management is very critical. When we think 50 years of life cycle of the building, 80% of the cost, we are paying money every day for consuming energy, motor, or other facilities. So, for people, spend the time, 90% in the area. It's very important. We are not walking outside. We are spending time here, when we use a car and going to your home. And always spending time in indoor. So, building is very critical for circular economy and then our. So, how we can, we don't need to maybe too much thinking. We should follow manufacturing industry, other industry, how they do it for digital transformation or increase the productivity. We can follow. Also, people-based integration. I know we should be mental transformation in the construction industry, but we can be integrated together. And we see the manufacturing side. This is the productivity is better. When we check for government level, digital transformation, and then what is the construction industry benefit coordination, the biggest problem for our industry is coordination and communication. The biggest problem. Energy performance, preventive mistake, quality and control. This is how to us digitalization and being benefit for the construction industry. Coordination is important. How we can coordinate? We can coordinate. We should have one model. I should be integrating all data in the one model. Everyone can be access what they need data. This is meaning for democratization of data. For example, if I need for one For example, for the AutoCAD files, I need to call the designers, change the share, you guys can share the email. I will thinking, I'm spending time. This is the project start. Okay, I cannot access. I don't need anyone. I can access immediately actually, and so this is the important. So how we can do it? This is very easy. I'm going to share the three projects. This is the first. We are working together, party, and he was the director of this project, and we work together. Smart Factory project, solar technology in Ankara. This is the top three, I think it's the biggest solar factory manufacturer. This is the 2,000 people working this project. Also, 100,000 meters square, 5 different factories in here in one. So this is the site, also in the Konya Karavana. Site is 5 kilometers, one vertical and another is 7 kilometers. This is 1% of our energy, all of the Turkey. So it's our plan, 3.5 million modules be integrated. All site and factory, we should be controlled, how we can control. All our data collected from the MES system and just integrated SAP system, but it's not a live model. We should be controlled in our manufacturing factory machine, we have to control. We have made 3 years ago, 20 seconds, 1 minute, not just 1 minute, they cut off. And it said to match $8 million or $10 million. Just 1 minute. We didn't control it. Where's the problem actually? This is the biggest problem. So how we can do it? We should be collecting all data, one center, and then I should do visualization of the whole machine, and I should be controlled. How we can do it? This is the biggest problem. This connect between the manufacturing department. Departments don't know each other. And declaration non-historical protecting and processing data, and also we cannot control each other, and then there was a problem. We cannot control the health of the machine. This is the problem. So we don't think for however this United we creating our architectural system for the data, and so this is the smart factory center we created. Also, this is really our mission, which really the object of mission, visualization, and also the develop the layout. Put the mission. You see that start with the left one start, and other center is the working simultaneously. Also, this is the vision. We did do this is the real data. We take the data from the PLC in the machine. We see that each machine is different, data is important. For example, for this machine, critical rotation, speed lift, battery power, those data is important for this machine. We take this machine and we make it. Also, we follow the simultaneous in here. Also, we integrated the predictive maintenance for each machine. For example, 50 degree. This machine, if it increases 60 or 70 degree, okay, it's because of problem, okay, we make a maintenance. And last page is the automation. And then we can be making targets because we need to produce data. Third project is Istanbul report. Also the biggest big implementation project. In here, I was working this project. You see that I start being model and implementation, site implementation. Also, we coordinated all the 20,000 people working in the BIM system and then one platform and communicate each process. Also, just the question, there is 600,000 actually solved. 60 million mandates saved. About the $1 million we saved. Just a clash election. 2 years 2 years delay of the opening the airport. You see that in the airport 24 income just 1 day. You imagine that, yeah, it's too much money. 30% of best of generation prevented. This is important for circularity. Now is the facility management stage. You see that this is our BIM model. We integrated our another system, IoT or another system, and also the facility management system. This is the airport operation center. All data, driving, all system control in here. Also, different, technologies adopted just one platform. VHS system, packet handling system, wireless communication system, automation systems, integrated. We have a dashboard. If you have a data, you can be present data reporting. For example, in here, what you need. Actually, if you are engineer, you can access some data, but if you are top level, C level position, okay, maybe they need to looking for financial situation over dashboard. Also, we can be customized in those dashboards. For example, in here, sustainability index is important for us. And asset as predictive managing energy efficiency. For example, if you are working for sustainability department, those data is important. I can be manipulating data and then you can be creating your dashboard. Okay, this is good for this easy maker. For how we can be integrated for construction industry and then construction, IT department. Also in construction stage, we are focused on the site management. And the site management cost, quality, labor cost, equipment, supplier, subcontractor, plan and hedges. And in here, input is different because I'm controlling the site and different equipment and then cost and financial. It's not the same for airport, not the same for the manufacturer. Different parameters in there. And also different, tools we integrated in here. Also, SAP ERP system is based SAP, and another tools help us. For example, that is help us for the laser scaling for buying loan and planning and cost department. TILOS also planning and cost department. Pro, this is the private, application for the procurement process. Also, normally before, they are using for Outlook and Excel, another, files, mail, but in here, they are using for, you have identified KPI, the design, and moderated with HANA, and created the quick sense, and then created MASA. This is the, cycle of the customized each department tools. Also in the cockpit, we have a different location, different projects, maybe 30 different projects we have. We can control all of them in the mapping. Also, we can follow the all equipment in the system. And then this platform, you really see that how many people work in this project. And also all data collected the database, we can make a report. In dashboard, this is the live actually. Not a technical report and sending. Everyone can access according to your limitation. This is the democratization of data. I don't need anyone. If I have an iPad and I have a link, I can access all data. If I, also physical process of the project, you can see health of the project. Thank you.
When we started on this, like we already started on that. We never started actually. It's a process, ongoing process, but we always need to put some name on the presentation. Then I changed the presentation into Ist and Soll. In German, it means current situation and what it should be. And I will actually show where we are as HPP, an enlargement architecture company on the digitalization front. And I would like to share where we are and look at ourselves actually a little bit. I mean, it's nice to know a wide range of possibilities, of course. The presentations were amazing. We learn, we see the possibilities, but how much it relates to the reality is something that I can give input to this conference. And that's what I try to do. I didn't show best use examples, but I show actually what our companies, where is it in the digital fund. Just like a couple of years ago, by the way, I should say HPP is like not an advertising, but to explain the situation, we have 500 architects, we have 9 years of experience. It's one of the top German architecture firms. And we are actually one of the leaders in the market for digitalization, sustainability, so cradle-to-cradle systems, all of those. But our internet, where we try to put our knowledge to a platform and make it accessible by the colleagues, by the employees, has just recently been possible. Like 2 years ago, we implemented this internet system where employees can access to data which is belonging to the company actually. So let's start from there. I think it sounds pretty great for such an established company. In this platform, we use a platform called Koyo, where these things are stored in servers and partly in the cloud. And here we have, I'll show a little bit of what is in here. We have these communities where we can interact with our colleagues. For example, for sustainability, for several issues, there is discussion boards. We have also a database where we could see the company standards and also construction standards in Germany, the DIN norms, these kind of things we can access. Actually, this wasn't possible a couple of years ago, and it's still not there exactly. It's not working perfectly. It's separated. We installed the module which was showing the best practice examples of details, which we still have to draw to build. We have to still draw. Spanish maybe we don't have to draw soon, but we are still drawing details, doors, handles, and everything in an established market. When we talk about AI, generative design, and all these things, sounds like everything happens automatically, but it's not. We are still making door lists a little bit maybe less complicated than before, little automated, but still not ideally there, especially when you consider the recent waves of AI coming in. But we are still very manual, I have to say. We are sitting and drawing those details. And we are looking at examples, how it should be, how it was done 10, 20 years before for other buildings. And we are using it for today's. I think it's also a strength for development to know what you have, to really embrace what you have done, and then take it as a step for the future. Because starting from scratch or zero is nothing. So it's good to know what we have. And this is actually one of the main challenges we have as HPP, because we have over 1,500 buildings completed in 90 years. And imagine the know-how in this 1,500 projects. And imagine yourself as a junior architect just graduated from ITU, as I did, I don't know, 20 years ago. And then you go to a company which has huge history and know-how, but you can't really access it. Or you somehow see some parts of it, but you can't really embrace and own it. And that is one of the challenges that this company is experiencing. Actually, we are trying to give this know-how information to everybody in the company, and to make it a step for the next future. So that's why there's still details that we have to reference to from buildings which was built long time ago. And we can then discuss how to make it better, which new materials we can utilize. There's a discussion board where we discuss on materials, sustainable materials, and we try to replace gypsum board with a more sustainable version, or suspended ceiling with a more sustainable version. We have a department of 3 architects who are researching and collecting especially sustainable recyclable materials to replace the existing materials, and we don't allow some materials anymore into our library. So it should be recycled. So we put some criteria. So we are trying to change the way we use materials, and we are trying to change the materials that we use. But therefore, you need to know where you are. So that's very important, I think. We also do that with all the thousands of projects that they built. We have established we call it, it's called Open Asset, a visual database where we have photographs of around 40,000 photographs of our projects, which are built, their floor plans, as a visual database, and a little bit of text information next to it. This database proved to be very interesting in the recent year because we are trying to train our AI models over this data database now. This is there's around 40,000, which is not much if you want to train an AI platform, but we are now discussing to integrate this database into an existing, already trained model, and maybe discover who we are as HPP, what is the style of HPP, which is actually difficult because it's changing, it started with modernism, and today we are in different buildings. But maybe there's a pathway, maybe there are traces of some aesthetical features that we could call this is HPP. We don't know, but we are hoping to see some exciting outcomes from the next steps that we will do with AI by training this database. So as I said, here we would access to many pictures and the plans of buildings. We are also trying to increase efficiency by centralizing our management structure. Every employee, including myself, we enter every hour that we spend within our working hours into a platform, which is this one, the cloud-based platform. For example, I'm to you today for 4 or 5 hours, and the management is seeing that I'm not working today. So, and these databases, people also, when you work on a project, you also put in there which phase of the project you are working, which phase are you doing, are you rendering, are you doing a composition, are you doing detail, are you doing floor plans. We select these, and actually we are trying to generate this data and then make it meaningful. There is a controlling cockpit where you can see the efficiency of projects, comparing the budget, time schedule, and the hours that you spend on the project. And I think it's important to generate this data so we can analyze it. And this analyze part is actually happening since 1-2 years. Before it didn't exist. Before maybe we were generating information. This was done entering our information. This platform didn't exist 3-4 years ago. We were using Excel sheets manually, and they were never analyzed. Maybe we also feed them into the system and then see if we are more efficient or not. With the introduction of BIM CAD. It's not too relevant, but before coming here, I also opened my PC at work, and I looked at what we are using for software. And there is a huge arsenal of software that we are using actually. Before, when I joined the company, we actually use only MicroStation, that platform. for almost everything. And now what we are using is crazy. All of these programs we are using actively. Not the tested ones. These are all the ones that we are actively using. Autodesk Revit is the main platform. It's becoming even stronger. But in Germany, Germans are a bit conservative. They want to first see that things are working and then they embrace it. So that's what's happening. Revit is not fully working in our according to expectations. There are a lot of things which are lacking, and it's American-based program software which some German norms are not easily adapted. So you have to tweak it a lot to use it in German norms, because when you make when you write a text or something, there's a need norm to write how to write a text, which is actually what we learn in ITV also. It's based on the DIN norms. So in American way, it doesn't come like this. So we have our team is always struggling to convert it to some DIN norms. Okay. So, but it's happening, it's changing, it's accelerating to the direction of Revit, but we are improving our detailing on 2D with MicroStation, because we have a huge arsenal of drawings, details ready, which are done, and we are utilizing this, and it's more efficient than integrating into Revit. But I think very soon that job will also be done with Revit. We don't like to use one program. We always talk Revit, but I mean, unfortunately, there's no better option, I guess, in the market yet. For us, at least, that's what we are doing. We use some supporting programs so that we can avoid or RIP-I2 we are using for tendering, or we are using Stable Diffusion as an AI platform where we have control. We use it with Control Net and 1111 interface, so we can we have control over the outcome, not like Mid-Journey. Stable Diffusion is a more stronger base to control. And for modeling and rendering, we use every possible thing. And so that's what is happening now. According to the project style, we are choosing which visualization software, which modeling software we use. And the young generation can use those things. I mean, in a couple of days, everybody knows their program, so it's not an issue anymore. And in CVs, we are not looking anymore who's using what program. Yeah, it's completely outdated to write what programs you use, but it's important to show that you are eager to learn. That's what we are looking at. Yeah. I wanted to write setbacks, what are setbacks which are preventing us to go even more digital. This presentation of digital is not on the sustainability that much. I think digital, but this year, last year it was more sustainability. So the first setback, I mean, these are obvious facts, but if somebody has to say it in the presentation, then go first. We are still building long permission build-outs for in Turkey, which this brings out for maybe within like Taşkışla, it would be like 30-meter long plotted document where you fold it into A4 sheet, A4 format, and that is your signed hard copy project. This is one of the drawbacks, setbacks, but you have to submit still a very thick hard copy document. It's not different in Germany. In Germany, you don't put them, actually ours is a smarter way, I think. In Germany, you have to put them into folders, right? Fold each document into A4, start it in an order which is defined again, and then how the fold is defined, which order you should do it is defined, and they will go to this folder. That's a small building, 3 folders. But if you look at this one, for example, this is Tesla factory, which is built recently in Brandenburg next to Berlin. And these are the, for example, architecture documents of the Tesla factory and Tesla technology in America. So yes, use the Microsoft. This is papers. So this is one big. This is the first big struggle that we have always in the municipalities. Can't submit IFC, can't use your model. You have to generate this to the numbers. So this is the first step that we are stuck. Second one is the tendering stage, right? Go tender project for the construction company. That also works manually on sometimes most of Excel sheets. birth data. In Germany, it's a little different. It's more organized because there is a governmental law. There is a law which asks you to use some certain formats. There is a format of GAP, which you export from some softwares. It includes the EOQ and the technical specifications, and then this is locked into one file which nobody can open if they don't have a password, and then you send it to general contractors, also for government projects and private projects. They open it and they put the information and get it back. It works pretty well in case of in Germany. In Turkey, it's not there yet. There is no common tendering format, but I think it's also important. Well, that one, Germany is a bit more digital than Turkey. A big one is, of course, big setbacks, drawback, let's say, is the construction site. When you go to construction site, there's the option to have to put the brick or brick, and there's very less digitalization. There is modelation, but we try to say in Germany projects have more modular pieces. The stairs are modular produced. Here we don't. We have more in-cast situations with concrete. But it's not there in Germany. The digitalization is not really there. And another setback is the infrastructure. I see my company investing more and more on monster computers and very fast internet connections in Istanbul. We are lucky to have a good infrastructure in our building only. We rented this building, the office, just because it had a symmetrical fiber internet, which is fast enough by 110 and that's why we rented that office building in Moscow. So the fast connection you need if you are working on cloud with Autodesk systems or any system that you work with, you have to have. And in Turkey, we are actually in the red zone. We don't have this wide internet availability I mean, downloading is something, but uploading is very weak. It's mostly it's advertised by download speed, but actually uploading is super slow in Turkey. That's why we were struggling to do international business with big organizations. That's why we had to invest in an office which had a good interconnection. But the infrastructure has to be developed on the internet speed front. We are very, very behind. Yeah, this is just some suggestions out of this short presentation. We have to develop the infrastructure. We have to allow digital building permit. We have to go into digital tenders, and then construction teams have to be more capable of accepting digital systems. That's basically 4-point, very simple solution. Just wanted to finish with some pictures here. Oh, it's not there. So it's not presentation format that I put in there.
I am Sibel Hacıoğlu. It's great to be here. I am working at Taşkışla Maliye Manager. And today I will talk about contribution to circularity by assignment by building materials in the production of cement blocks. And I want to show the outline who we are, cost reduction and waste minimization, high-tech project, and the conclusion. Under the roof of the technology established the first cement on particle in weekend, factory in the 30s in the year 1984, and the production of its registered brand, Petopal. It was first exported in 1987. Considering the principal objective is to produce environmentally friendly products with this knowledge, the Petopal brand fiber reinforced cement board, lightning fiber cement board in 2014 by establishing its second factory, which is a big gold certificate. It is one of the few companies in the world that can produce cement monoparticle board and the fiber cement board together. It has been the largest solution partner in many areas of the construction moving from the foundation to the roof for the last 39 years. These images are our products. First image, Vetifam and Vetifam Plus, like in the semi-molded particle board. So, and second one, Vetifam, is the fiber cement board. Nowadays, when nature resource and protecting and environmental programs are increasing, reducing the amount of waste created by the material throughout its life cycle and reusing the material has become very important. One of our company's sustainability goes in the circular economy, which is a sustainable production model in which the waste generated in the production system is reused. The material has become very important. This minimizing raw material goes to keeping resource efficiency high. The Vetifam is using and applied renewable materials in the production of some cement forms. Cutting waste, which is originating result of production process, is obtained the appropriate particle size and exact ratio of 5% is added to the recipient. When it comes to the iceberg project, with the scope of the Horizon 2020 program, support the European Commission. The aim is to use recycled construction demolition waste economically obtained from the end of life building using smart demolition techniques. In the construction sector, to provide added value, to provide innovative, cost-effective circular smart solutions, and to increase stockholder awareness. As it knows, the evolution of CDB, which is one of the important environmental programs in the world, it is of great importance for our country, located in the earthquake zone and in a transformation process. Waste groups were first collected from the demolition site and brought the fiber from the pressing chipping procedure. Then we are producing the board. We use these chips. And the production of boards by using isolated waste goods, and you can see the pictures, recycle aggregate, eco-hybrid cement, plus carry out on the production line. Three production in the interest scale of 3 steps. The first is not alkaline treatment. The first step, alkaline treatment on waste wood fiber. We apply the alkaline treatment according to the difficult method. These fibers would come to create sodium hydroxide solution with different molecules and different treatment periods. And the purpose of alkaline treatment is to remove partially soluble components so to obtain the surface cleaning wood. Second step, production of boards. We obtain homogeneous mixtures by using all the around materials. By laying these mixtures and product performance. Finally, the production section was finished off by using the press machine, and the production of green energy panels was completed. You can see the homogeneous mixture and the study and the final product formulated. You can see the two pictures. First one is we produced by using green raw materials. Second one is the regular product. These are the color differences because of the we use the green raw materials. First one is the brick waste. Coming to the brick waste. And additionally, I will show the video. This is the production line, one production line. You see the boards while that they are the form used in the industrial supplies, real production. We make with the recipe with the turbine. And the second one. After the production of green wood panels completed, the time during period started. And after the time during period, after the boards is completed, and after the humidity of the boards lowered in the oven, and then they are ready for testing. Third step is the testing of board. All experimental tested according to EN and AEC standards. EN standard 634, 7 particle board specification, and the density modulus of elastic modulus lectures, and the thickness of granules and the water absorption using the all standard numbers. And when it comes to the conclusion, after the testing, better mechanical properties are achieved according to these standards. And also it has been, it was seen that artificial fibers show very good compatibility with the eco-hydrogen phase and mixtures. CDB must be separated on site with selected intelligence system. Thus, this rate will be separated by height, compared to break plus wood, telling between and etc. It was a secondary raw material for relevant places which are manufactured of the biobusiness materials. In addition, the number of solid-state companies that will separate CDB and supply the relevant companies needs to increase in our country. Thus, since this is sustainable, they will be contributed to the circular economy. And I thank you for your attention.
Today, I will explain Green Beyond Green, what it means, and strategies and the successes from the field. Actually, I'm a digital transformation engineer. I'm looking for innovation in construction technology software. But when I did that topic, I just realized that it will affect every step of construction industry. So I just changed a bit my presentation before I came here. Yes, first of all, I would like to explain you who is German, what it does. Actually, it is 221 years old company, one of the largest construction companies in the United States, and completed plenty of iconic buildings in the world. Maybe you already know 15 out of 100 tallest building from Germany. And if we talk about innovation and technology, we also one of the best innovative and technology using company. But today I will not mention about these parts. I just share our green approach. So except for being a good and large constructor, Turner also has been selected, recognized as the largest green contractor in the United States. The founder member, Latin member of United States Green Building, and completed more than 1,000 green projects last 20 years. Probably you know from ENR list, and one of them is green contractors. And last 16 years, for consecutive years, we are recognized as the top green contractor. So, what I'm explaining today is a very giant, large organization approach to green building. They have many experiences. So, also, I have learned from that. So please, you can accept that as a good example, good application. We define green. It is another meaning to us. So I will tell what is that. Being a green builder is not only using the technology or the techniques on our project. In our vision, we describe that we want to be highest value providers of global construction services and technical expertise. So it affects each part of our project, processes, organizations. So after these long years, recently we just published our 2020 ESG report, and it also collects all of these steps. So what are these steps? What we are focusing on building green projects, completing that. We have three strategy areas. These are, as you know, environmental, social, and governance. And each of them has sub areas, but I cannot share here, unfortunately. Under that areas, we have commitments. All the commitments are measured, and they all have deadlines. So we focused on finishing that. So after that slide, I will share one by one. But we can divide them into six expertise, like embodied carbon resiliency, job sites, carbon control, circularity and waste management, energy and net zero, and green building certification. There is many in the United States and all over the world. So reduction. This is our job site emission, how we manage it, and what kind of things we do. We have reduction strategies in our projects, and we are strictly follow how much we consume. As you see, we prefer now electrical devices levels. We have mobile application, and all the values are monitoring, and after that we have some strategies to reduce them. And there's another phase, pre-construction. It has a giant effect on emission, and of course, for each process of turnover, we follow any process, any information on cloud. We mostly use BI technology, and you can see any report, even in the United States here, and you can, of course, some reports are not a lot, but you can check and learn about them. And this is, I'm not sure the first time, but it is maybe the most detailed report of Turner. This 2022 embodied carbon baseline report. This report, the information coming from not only one or two projects, is 60% of our projects in the United States feed that report. So in that report, we have very critical information for our organization, how we do our job. So means that we also continue to develop how we do our job. And there are some different software. I'm not sure they are using in Turkey, but the first time saw as a digital transformation engineer. Here are some reduction strategies. I cannot share all of them here, but maybe also check that even BIM and digital processes related to these focuses. So this changed all organization approach for the future. It is also not new, but it was not that deep before. And of course, we prepare some case studies, we share them, and one of them I can put here. For example, how to talk with project stakeholders to explain the importance of that. It is an approach from us. Lab carbon concrete was a case study. Value management with embodied carbon variance tracking software. Again, for each subject, we have different experts, And of course, again, pre-construction for reduction strategy. This is a residency, very deep and important journey. There are not only for the approach for our project, which we will finish or we will complete. There are also some approach for our job site. How can we have here some software, some rules and some forms for our staff in our project. They have to follow it. And also in the United States, some of them are very well known, and maybe probably in Europe. There are building resilience certification. We mostly use, of course, the United States Building Council certification, but the others are all feeding this process. And for resilience, again, we have digital tools, we have reports, we follow them. And as you see here, the resident comes from sometimes manhunt, sometimes from nature, but there are many different disasters to build up, to give us reason to build up resilience. In Turkey, we have earthquake and some different disaster risk, and this approach, I hope that will increase also in Turkish construction industry. Energy and net zero, actually, this is a large and long-term topic. So in internal, we have a group for that. We call them energy knowledge group. This group, especially, they focus on energy and net zero design strategies. They have energy codes and standards. They help our staff for design optimization and constructability reviews. And there are some different areas. Of course, life cycle assessment is one of the critical points of that. And waste management and circularity, the other point is that we already started to use waste management policy in our projects. There are some, we even have some numbers for that. And we must follow our waste, how much we produce and how much can we recycle without. Here also has, here you can also find some numbers I will share. But this field, we combine that in circularity, in terms we call at the moment waste management and circularity. And again, we try to develop by year. And if I need to give some numbers, for example, from 2015, 1.8 million tons of waste from landfill. We have diverted that. So these are good numbers, and actually we continue to use this approach in each project. And you can also again see we use metrics, we use digital tools, and we also databases for them, and we follow suit on that. For circularity, I found some reports, but I'm not sure that we have a perfect case of report for that. But it is also an important case for Germany. To sum it all of them, what is green building and what is our approach on green building, how we build it? Actually, it is all of them is under our ESG strategy. But interesting, or maybe it's the expected thing. It first touched our employees because we think that to success that, first of all, we should know the knowledge, we should share each other. And it is really important for Turner, and I'm sharing that with you through our ESG reports on high level. And here you can also see other green building certification and their organizations. We also joined some of the organization as a supporter. C40 is we are, I guess, 2022. Yeah, we joined that. There are 40 cities in the world joined that. I guess Istanbul is one of them, and we also agreed we signed Paris Agreement. And one of our software pool also supported that initiatives and part of us. I think first, next 30 years will be the point, will be maybe one of the most important topic is sustainability and the net zero targets, and the construction industry focused that. I just wanted to show this part of Turner as a large company because in Turkey we don't have that application yet or that expertise yet, and I hope in the near future we will have it. So thank you for listening to me.
Hi, my questions to the Turner representative. Thank you for the fruitful discussion, full of incredible know-how on green. My question is, you have an office in Turkey and then you have global offices, and then you create a report on ESG, for example. It's so different in the US than in Turkey. How do you deal with that? Uniformity of the offices and how you are managed here. Can you give us some information about the Turkish market? Because it's very difficult to get data and healthy results with what we have here, as everyone knows. Uniformity of quality. That's what I'm asking.
How we got the data in terms of rebuilding and the green approaches, or project management, site management, or any?
ESG, for example. I mean, when you say ESG in the US, the data collection is much easier.
Yeah.
In Turkey, it's just starting. And how do you deal with this?
Actually, I asked that question to our country manager because this is a good expertise, and I think Turkish construction industry need that. But at the moment, we don't give that service, green building expertise or green building management in Turkey. And we have offered solution partners for that, or other companies giving that service. On the other hand, gathering, monitoring, and gathering the data from the construction site projects, we are using some softwares. Turner already has some global agreement with some software, but as we are project management consultant here, it takes how to say collaboration with employer, general contractor, and subcontractors. We just set up in the beginning of the project.
Here's my feedback. HPP is also here, which is a great company too. All those international firms, when they come to countries like ours, because the market is already developed by local consultants, and they do not obey the quality level that you are used to go for globally, you don't conduct what you need to do. You need to be doing green building consultancy. You need to be doing ESG work. Why? Because your global quality requests, you're going to increase the level in this country. When you don't do it, and then you leave it to locals, then everything stays as is. We need you to push the market.
Was it a comment or question?
I totally agree. Not only.
Locals are just locals.
Yeah, and you are almost looking. But I think what we try to do is we always tell the client at the beginning of the project to explain ESG, circularity, these things. We always demand a meeting and we educate sort of, and then check the possibility of implementing anything which is possible. So, it's mostly, I mean, we keep on trying. Every project we have, we do this training from us, like, from our expertise. But rarely you get the answer, proper answer.
But there are still 600 certified buildings in this country. That means someone is doing it, but they're not doing it right. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's not another certification, but
Certification is just one example.
we should also say we are the venture market. We are really at that moment, especially today, we are in a very low market condition. We have to speak about this. We shouldn't be relatively high. The market is extremely low at this current situation. So the capacity to accept any changes which might come with some degree of risk, if you look from hindsight, is not accepted. So they are refusing any new or any change which might change their plans. They're afraid. Everybody's afraid because margins are too low. There is no tolerance, financial tolerance. There is no like everything so limited currently. In this market situation, I mean, the tax blocking, that's real.
That's when green should be coming.
Yeah, also especially green finance, and which is attractive at the moment because there is some money coming in there. There was a couple of some dollars coming from the World Bank lately, which will be distributed. We don't know how it will be distributed, but should get somehow.
Thanks for the question and thanks for this answers. Any other questions or comments from the audience? Yes, please.
I would like to ask Buğrahan HPP, you explain your digitalization process of the running the HPP, basically. How did you switch to this digitalization? Like, was that your own experience and you gradually moved, like implemented step-by-step digitalization process, or you had a consultancy with the data that you have in there? Because it's a management problem and it's a digitalization of technical problem. This is not only like applying digital tools, it's basically management, data management, and also running the business. So many companies are struggling to switch into real digitalization process. I know in Turkey, some design and production companies they have really good movement, like they switched. They had kind of consultancy in the process of digitalization. How was your process?
We didn't have consultancy, but it happened gradually. The necessity was there, the need was there. And but I think that the main thing is discussion culture. Every 2 weeks, our partners are meeting, including myself. Every 2 weeks, we meet with 8 partners, 7 senior partners, and 12 associate partners. We have to join this meeting where we discuss all those stuff. So the options are put on the table, for example, choosing which internet to use. We get offers and evaluate them, but this we do all together. If it fits to us, it doesn't fit us. Because I think consultancy, of course, consultancies are important, but you know yourself the best. So, but there was no consultancy in our process. There was no strategic meeting 5 years ago, around 5 years ago, where the main direction was wrong. So digitalization, these decisions were fixed, made. And this was mediated by one organization, the consultancy company, one of them was involved in discussing HPP strategy. We have a 2030 strategy, what we want to be, and then there is digitalization written, there is being written, and this sustainability, circularity, these things are all there, and I think people are honest about this. That's the thing. They really do steps to catch these targets. It's not just let's write it somewhere, but it's taken honestly, and people are working actually with these goals. That's something I'm not traveling all the time with culture, and it's also a cultural issue, I guess. We do some stuff just to show. I don't big companies that we have, global companies, we experience daily working with them. This is sustainability reports and things. How much you spend behind them? I think that's the question of them. In my experience in European terms, they are more sincere and honest about those targets.
Great. I think we can take one last question, and if you don't mind, I will raise the last one. So we spoke about the database design processes, AI. It's a very popular hot topic today. So how about creative industries such as design or architecture? How it would be affected in terms of creativity processes? Design process is a creative process, and how do you see AI is informing all these processes? Do you see a danger in the future that we're going to lose the creative contribution of us? We speak about efficiency a lot, but how about creativity in those processes?
This is a big discussion, of course, in the context of this creativity. This is one of the discussions, for example, when we say generative AI, this is one of the characters can be used for creative or support for this creative. For example, how you can translate, for example, Javish for people can say üretken or üretken. So if you say üretken, so it's just like a dry content, so this is not a creative content. So basically you use the previous designs but generated on experts before, and then you just get some open this case or creative line that the context of what is learned for. But if you want to say something with the creative effect, so basically you can use your own style, but in the meantime you can use the previous design in the context of like the main template. So from that discussion, so you have to look from so what's the creative content. So the design of like three-dimensional object, yes, you need the human power. But if you generate something by composer, and sounds, so basically a certain mathematical pattern, so basically it will be composed a small fine-tuning, it's what they call the fine-tuning. If this is the language model, yes, it's the creative content because you have feelings of words. And then any combinations, even the fact that it's learned by the creator, it can be anything. So this is depends on one type of creativity, but let me finish my work from that discussion. This is what I think when I was giving my talk, this is what NVIDIA does, like this GPU, AI embedded in the computer, integrated to devices. So basically, once you have this three-dimensional design, which is architecture, so basically you have to render this process in a very complicated environment. So once this the hardware-driven components get matured, which I can give you a time, like 1 year's time, at that time it will be really supportive, creative supportive technology that we will see. This makes you, the project time maybe 3 months, I don't know, just say by words like 3 months to maybe 3 weeks to 3 days to maybe 3 hours. So this depends on what the designers will be heading on. But in my opinion, again, the original work is still original work. But what they claim like normal doctors, the practice doctors will be goes away for all the domains. I think this is also valid for architecture. I don't see any reason why it's not valid for architecture.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I think we can continue our discussion with the coffee break. Thanks for your participation.